Hey guys, Chris here from the Ultimate Recycler. We have a pile of what many would call junk on my back table at the moment. This is a really quick video just to show what happens at my shop quite a lot. And for those of you who are new to my channel, I run a second-hand business in country Victoria, Australia, and I buy a lot of deals. I go picking and I have plenty of videos on that on my channel. I also collect e-waste, and because of that, a lot of people, they don't dump absolute rubbish at my shop, but they feel that I'll take everything. And a lot of people know my Achilles heel, or my kryptonite, so to speak, is they'll mention that if I don't take it, they'll take it to the rubbish tip. And as you can tell by the name of my channel, I want to try and keep as much out of landfill as possible. And so I get stuff like this all the time. Now, a guy dropped in this morning. This was loaded in his little hatchback car. He said, "Do you want this stuff? I'm cleaning out my shed. If you don't want it, it's going to the tip." So what could I do? I was caught then. They threw in the keyword, said, "Yeah, unload it, I'll take it." It's not normally stuff I'd buy at all, but let's go through it. And the purpose of this video is to show you that there's an enormous amount of stuff that goes to landfill that shouldn't. Let's see what money we can make out of this. Let's see what we can recycle, and hopefully nothing actually goes to the tip. So we'll go through it quickly. I'll wash it up and give you some prices at the end of this video. This is a drinking bottle, a cooler, or a picnic jug as it's called. On the bottom it's actually a Willow one, which is a good Australian brand, and it's got a bit of vintage to it, and it's really just a bit dusty from shed storage. I think inside it's actually quite clean, so we'll give that a quick wash up. Now these two light shades are kind of a vintage. They were popular in the 70s and into the 80s. I'm not sure if that's part of the big one or not. But what they are, it's not lead light, it's actually a shell known as Capiz, I think that's how you pronounce it. It's been used as a glass substitute for a long time, but these lampshades were kind of popular in the 70s, as I mentioned. So it actually is real shell, and it's a nice translucent material, and that looks they're quite popular in retro houses. That appears to be undamaged, so I think we'll get a bit for that, and I'll have to work out if that goes with it or not. What do we have over here? This is a large bag. It's just a bit dusty. It looks pretty clean inside. It's quite a heavy, it's almost a case. Now, I don't think there's much value in it, but it doesn't appear to be damaged. I did try the zips just before and they're not broken. And it actually opens right out. Now, I've got a set of lawn bowls in the shop that I got the other day, and they didn't have a bag. So I've just got them sitting in a shoebox, but now they have a bag, so we'll sell that with the lawn bowls. I think that's just a fold-out camping, like a laundry hamper, and if that's not damaged, we'll certainly sell that. If not, give it away. This frame here, I suspect, is like a camping wardrobe, just a frame to hang clothes on. I will assemble that and see if it's not damaged. But even if it is damaged, the steel pipes could go as shred, so it certainly won't go into landfill. There's a slow cooker here with the instructions. It looks good inside, doesn't look damaged. I would assume because it ended up in a shed, it was still working, just no longer required. So we'll clean that up and test it. An assortment of lamps here. The shades aren't really good, but we'll see what we can salvage out of the lamps. This one looks like an older one. It's got an older style cord with a Bakelite plug, but that's a bit dangerous. We might have to see what we can do with that. Some kitchen stuff here. These Willow baking dishes we get fairly often, and they'll sell, even if they just go in the $1 box. And these Pyrex baking dishes is a matching set of 3. I reckon that's the best value in this whole lot. I'll wash them up, and we should get a fair price for those to make the whole deal worthwhile. I do like to try and get value for my time. There's some stainless steel legs, feet, and I reckon I might save them for an upcycle project. So if nothing else, they could go as steel. I didn't get a magnet to see if they're actually stainless steel or not. I mean, they probably are stainless steel, but the magnetic, hang on, I'll just reach the magnet. Oh, that's it. Now let's see if they're magnetic. No, they're not. So they could go as stainless steel, which pays pretty well. We just have to take the plastic foot off the end. Oh, and there's an insert. But I'm better off keeping them because I can use those. Some nice Art Deco door handles. Now they're probably 1950s. they're certainly saleable. So we'll pull all those out and put them in a box. A couple of light globes, a tap, that'll be brass, some old latches, so there's a little bit of value in there. And I don't know what's in this, it's something electrical because I can feel the cord. So we'll open that in a tick and see what we find there. Okay, it's an LG VHS or video recorder. I'm guessing again that it probably is a goer. Bit hard to sell these things these days, but we'll test it and we'll try and get $5 for it. They're not really much value to scrap out, but it certainly could go in the shred, or if you could be bothered pulling the circuit boards out and chopping the cord off, there's a bit of value there for scrappers. But if it works, we're going to try and sell it. The plastic bag that it was in, that'll be recycled as well. It'll go in with the soft plastics. So I don't see that there's anything we're going to actually have to throw out. Maybe a couple of those lampshades if they don't fix up. But really, we should be able to either sell or give away all of this, make a few dollars, and keep it all out of the bin. Oh, I nearly forgot, there was another box that came out of the guy's car, and there was also this, I guess you'd call it a little shopping trolley thing. It folds up, and it's in quite reasonable condition, a little bit dusty, but the wheels are okay on it. The box looks like it's mostly light shades, glass light shades, a bit dusty. There's a clock there, what's that? Is that Frozen? I don't know, I'm not into these modern movies. My kids have all got too old for them. A torch, some more lampshades, a bit of wiring, so we'll clean that up, but there'll be a few dollars there. The light shades usually sell okay. There's this looks like something from the kitchen. What is it? Oh, scales. Well, scales always sell well. And this must be the bowl. Very good. That feels a bit heavy. What's in there? A piece of glass. Oh, it's a little paperweight. A koala. It's only modern, but it's a nice little ornament. That'll easily get $5. Don't even have to wash it. Nothing else in there. Okay, so the scales look like they're in good order. Can't believe he was going to throw this out. They'll sell well. Now these cast iron, these are cool. Now I've actually been traumatized by these things. Let me tell you a little story. Many years ago in my early 20s, I went on a date to a Chinese restaurant, and I think I ordered garlic prawns, and the restaurant was packed, and we were waiting for a meal and chatting away and having a wine or something, and next thing the swing door from the kitchen barges open and a waitress strides into the restaurant with one of these, and it was absolutely steaming. They're a sizzle plate, so it was still actually cooking, and she feeding him looked like a steam train charging out through the restaurant. Everyone stopped eating and turned to look, and I'm thinking, God, who ordered that? And she brings it straight to me, and I barely could see my date through the steam. Quite embarrassing. I wasn't used to going into restaurants, being a farm boy. So yes, I'm a little bit traumatized, but I did enjoy my garlic prawns. So these all sell well. They're in good order. Very retro-y, and I don't know if people use these sizzle plates. It's got the wooden bases for them, and I think it's missing one of the handles. These are so you can pick them up without burning your fingers. But look, they'll sell well. I reckon I'll put 20 bucks a set on those. I don't even need washing. So we'll go through the rest of this and we'll start making a list. I have been cleaning things up, and I found out that that little piece actually goes on the top of that shade. It wasn't a separate shade, and that's in good order. I've repaired the lamps and checked them. They were just a bit loose in the fittings. The shades cleaned up quite well, and I found another shade for this one. This is a shade that I had in storage. The base, it's very heavy. I think it's alabaster, and it's quite a vintage lamp. And I did put a new plug on it, well, a new old plug, kind of fitting with the era, just to make sure it's safe. The other one wasn't very safe. So we're just about ready to go to tally up. I checked the VCR and it works fine. So yeah, we'll go through this last box and then we'll do a tally and see how much value there is here for us. Oh, and I should mention, the only things that are going to landfill is one of these off the lamp that had cracked. That was one of the lamps I repaired. And I think it's cracked somewhere. I'm sure there it was, yeah. So it wasn't usable, and you can't really do much with this. It's not recyclable, so that will have to go to the tip. And one of these shades was badly damaged. I took the metal section out, which will go to the scrap, but that will have to go in the bin. So out of a carload of stuff that was destined for the tip, that's all that's going to go. Okay, all done. Let's finalise this little experiment. What was one guy's junk is now quite profitable for me. Not only did he actually save fees going to the tip, he also saved himself a drive out there, and I made some good money. Well, I will when I sell it. Let's have a quick look at the list. I've done a list. The light shades, I put $5 each. They're all in good order. I did wash them up. So, you know, they usually sell pretty well. Sooner or later someone comes along and finds one they need. The sizzle plate's 20. The clock, I just cleaned a bit of corrosion off a battery terminal and away she goes, $5. The Kibitz shell light shade, 30 I reckon I'll get for that. The lamps, the two basic ones, just 5 each. The larger one with my shade will put 40. The old shade was damaged and it wasn't usable. The scales 10, the paperweight 5. The slow cooker tested perfectly and it's pretty well. I don't know if it's ever been used. It looks magnificently clean inside, and even underneath where you always get a bit of staining from food and slow cookers, it's perfect. So I put 15 on that. It's very cheap. It will sell quickly. Certainly not going to scrap it for e-waste when it's perfectly usable and it's tested safe. The clothes hanger thing I assembled here, and I doubt it had ever been assembled. It looks in perfect order, so that's all good. I'm only going to put $5 on that. The picnic jug, that was the water cooler thing, 5. It washed up nicely. The VCR, the bag case is worth 5, but I'll probably put the lawn bowls in it anyway. The legs are adjustable. Now, I've allowed 5 for them, but I'm probably going to keep them because I reckon that'll be useful in an upcycle project. The Pyrex dishes, I put 30. They washed up quite nicely, and they're not chipped or damaged or anything, and I'm sure they'll sell pretty quickly. Camping shelves. Oh, this was the thing I thought was like a laundry hamper. It's actually just a fold-out shelf thing. It's only material, but you know, if you've got a tent and you want to put some clothes somewhere, I guess it's useful. That plastic is going to be recycled soft plastics. There's a bit of paper that can go in my recycle bin for paper, and there was quite a number of old light globes in the bottom of one of the boxes, all new old stock. So they'll go into my supplies because I use light globes in lamps and things. In fact, I've added a light globe to each of those lamps and they've all been tested. So we just put 5 on those camping shelves. The deco doorknobs, 10 the lot. The latches, 5 the lot. There was a little bit of scrap metal, a bit of clean steel. The one plug, that's the one I took off the lamp that I replaced. I have a box for plugs. They're mostly brass. Now these things were brass. That was from a double adapter that I just took apart because it was a bit cracked. So $1 or $2 for scrap there. So that totals the whole lot off. I didn't allow anything for those last few things. $265. Can you believe it? For what looked like a pile of rubbish, and it was going to be until he called in here. There also are a few cords that I'll get $1 each. I didn't even write those down. And the torch, well, these old torches with the incandescent globes don't really sell much these days because LED torches are so cheap. But I did put some batteries in it. It works fine. I'll just put that in the $1 box. The batteries didn't cost me anything because I get them out of deals like this. So there you go, $265. It took me about an hour and a half just washing things up and repairing things. You know, corroded terminal on the clock and a new plug on the lamp and testing the electrical items. An hour and a half. If I allow myself, you know, we'll turn the page. If I allow myself $50 an hour, there's $75 labour, and our total was $265. Now, assuming some stuff may take a while to sell, or I might discount a little bit, if we do 3/4 of that, which I normally do as far as working out these deals, that would bring it down to around about $200 return. And that's a realistic return. $75 labour, that's a pretty good return on my time, and we've still got $125 clear profit on stuff that was destined for the tip. So whilst I appreciate you can't all do this sort of stuff, and not much here would actually sell on eBay or Facebook Marketplace. You might have success selling these vintage Pyrex baking dishes. You may sell that old lamp. But most of the stuff is low value and not really worth postage. But in my situation with my secondhand shop, it's good dollars for me. Perhaps you could sell some through a garage sale. But the whole point of this video is just to show you that things don't need to go to landfill. Even if you give them away on Facebook Marketplace, someone's going to be wrapped. They'll get something that they could use. It keeps the circular economy going, and it stops filling up our tips with stuff that really shouldn't be thrown out. Just before we finish up, let's revisit the notepad for a second, remembering our $200 clear profit is a realistic figure, less our 75 labour gave us 125. Well, that's 125 as a clear profit. Now, applying a formula I use, we're going to divide that figure by 3 and we get approximately $40. And that's what I would expect to pay for a deal like this. When the guy dropped the stuff off, he was not at all trying to sell it to me. He just wanted to save himself some tip fees and thought that I'd take it. Well, I'm going to go and give him 40 bucks. Now, I certainly don't have to do that, but that's how my formula works for buying stock, and we love to give kickbacks because it's the best advertising my business can do. So he's going to be surprised, and no doubt he'll call past next time he's on his way to the tip, and who knows what he'll have. So thanks for watching. I hope you enjoy these videos. Just gives you an idea of what I think things are worth too, and to know that yes, I can actually save stuff. So my channel isn't just about preaching it. I actually do this day to day, and as you can see, it's quite profitable. Okay, we'll catch you in the next video. Bye.